You have probably seen the hype around the hashtag van life going around in social media. You've seen all the stunning pictures circulating on Instagram that just makes you want to leave your responsibilities behind and hit the road. It makes you want to experience that nomadic lifestyle and wake up to beautiful views like this every morning. I mean, that coffee probably tastes 10 times better with a view like this. But as a Tesla owner, I didn't think I had the opportunity to live the van life until Tesla decides to come out with the Tesla van or the Tesla Cybertruck. Fortunately, I was proven wrong. In this video, we're going to cover how a couple from Manitoba, Canada is living the van life in their Tesla Model Y. Today, we're going to cover all the basics, all the need to know, and the answers to all the frequently asked questions. So if you were thinking of living the van life with your Tesla, this is the video for you. This Airstream camper van is being pulled by a long-range dual-motor Tesla Model Y. When you're on the road, almost the most basic things that you have in your house can be considered a luxury. This cozy camper van has almost all the basic necessities and appliances to live comfortably. It has a full-size bed where you could literally lie down and stargaze through the panoramic windows. It has a small dining space as well where you could sit down and have your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. There's also storage here, here, and then here and here. There's also a little closet here for your clothes. Also, it has a medium-sized fridge, a small stovetop, and also a microwave oven where you could heat up your food, and a double sink. More storage here. There's also a little skylight, and this is the air conditioning unit for the trailer. It also has a full bathroom with a working sink with water, a shower, and a toilet so you could look out at the beautiful scenery through the windows while you poop. Now, if you have stuck around until this far into the video, you probably have some questions on van life yourself. Luckily, I was able to sit down with the lovely couple themselves and ask a couple of frequently asked questions. Here's a short FAQ session with the Wonderlies. So what is the range that you get in the winter?
Probably 150 kilometers.
Around 150 kilometers or so.
Yeah, but we don't do a lot of pulling the camper in the winter. Some cold weather though. So, you know, that's kind of where we'd aim for.
Okay, so like a follow-up question is, what do you get in the summer?
200 kilometers, and we have a long-range Model Y all-wheel drive.
How much range do you get from, if you wanted to get from like the center of Canada to any of the coast, like West Coast, let's say if you want to go to Toronto, or if you want to go from here to Vancouver?
Like how many times would you have to stop to charge?
Yeah.
Well, we came back from Ottawa, so we came back from Ottawa. It took us 2.5 days. Our biggest day was a 900 kilometer day, and we charged probably 4 times that day. So it would be probably, I don't know, I haven't driven that far, but probably I'd say you're going to stop and charge more often than not, because it's better to stop and charge for a little while. So you're probably going to charge 20 times on the way to the coast.
Wow, okay. So how much did it cost you to get from Ottawa to Winnipeg?
I think it was about $120 in supercharging.
Oh wow, so $120 in supercharging. So that would be, if you took gas, like that, you said we would have to stop like 10 to 15 times or 20 times?
Well, if that was a gas vehicle, depending if you're pulling a fifth wheel with a truck, that would cost you over $2,000. Wow. I would think. So yeah. So it's a lot cheaper, but it's a slower mode of transport because you stop more often. You know, but we were only stopping for half an hour, 40 minutes at the very longest to charge. Some of them were only 15-minute stops.
Nice. So it's more of like a camp, like a van life. So I guess it's you don't really mind stopping and charging and like relaxing in the van.
Nah, find a coffee shop to go to, or lunch, or we would just make lunch in the trailer here, or lay down and have a nap.
Well, when we stop at gas stations, people come to visit you. So then he's just visiting like crazy.
Yeah, superchargers become a party spot.
Yeah, like the first time I saw you, I literally got out of the car. Like I didn't even I just wanted to talk to you guys. So
yeah, people will just run us down to ask us questions and stuff because they can't believe it. They just can't believe a Tesla pulling a trailer this big.
I mean, this, like, I didn't even expect this. I expected when the Cybertruck would come out, like, people would start doing this. But when I saw like a Model Y pulling this whole trailer, like, I was really amazed.
Yeah, and it's a great tow vehicle. Teslas are amazing tow vehicles. I've towed lots of stuff with lots of different kinds of trucks and cars and that, and it's the best tow vehicle I've ever towed with.
Okay, so we know that this trailer is like pretty heavy. It's a heavy payload, especially considering for the Model Y. How has the maintenance been? Have you been doing like a lot of maintenance on the Model Y?
No, I haven't had to do anything.
Oh wow!
It's not even. I mean, we have an equalizer hitch on this trailer, so it spreads the weight load out, and it's fine. It's not really that. It's not that much too heavy for the Y. We probably pulled this thing 6,000 kilometers so far, and we have had no wear on the tires. So
wow, 6,000 kilometers. And what's the mileage on the Model Y right now?
29,000 kilometers.
Okay, so absolutely no maintenance. You've been just charging it. That's it.
Yeah, just charging. Yeah, yep.
So while you're pulling this Airstream and it's a pretty heavy trailer, have you ever ran out of battery?
No, I have never ran out of battery in the Tesla. That would be not fun. Yeah. I just am really good at figuring out where we're going to go. In fact, kind of a easy hack is in this car, pulling this trailer in our conditions that we tow in, for every % of battery power my gauge shows, I can go 2 kilometers. So if I have 50% left in the battery, I know that I probably should have a charger within, say, 90 kilometers. And the thing is too, like, you can slow down and it makes a huge difference in the range. So if you have to get somewhere, you just slow down a little wee bit. But we'll start out a journey going slower, and then as closer we get to the charger, we know that we can speed up. Yeah. And then we know. So we get to the chargers usually, if we're really pushing it, we'll get there with 10%. But we don't ever really, like, it'd be so hard. You know yourself, it would be so hard to run a Tesla out of power. The thing would tell you over and over and over again, you're being an idiot and you need to find a charger.
Yeah. So how does it feel driving it? Is it harder? Is it heavier on the car? Like, is there like a speed limit that you can go with this Airstream?
Okay, well, in all honesty, you don't even know this trailer's behind the car ever. Not when we meet a semi, not when we have side winds, nothing. You just don't feel the trailer back here. I don't go faster than, say, 95 at the most, but we mostly travel around 90 kilometers an hour. Okay. But you really do not feel it. It's unbelievable. We had a 14-foot box trailer, like a square travel trailer, and it got blown around the wind, and you could feel it on the back of the car. But this one, you can't even feel you're towing anything. You have to remind yourself you have something back there.
So what are the costs that you have every month, like on a per month basis, in running this trailer?
Well, we bought it, so we don't have a trailer payment. Okay. Really, the only costs are wherever we decide to park it. So this trailer doesn't have as big of tanks as a larger RV. Okay. So we can't boondock for too long, but we can park for 3 or 4 days without being connected to anything. Okay. So in that case, there would be zero costs if you found a parking lot that allowed you to park there, or a place in the bush.
Okay, so like, so if you're in a campsite, is it free to park in the campsite? Do you need to pay for the water?
So campsites range from, say, $20 a night to $50 a night, depending what kind of a park you're in and the amenities they have. So, yeah.
Okay, so the campsite that we're in, do we need to pay anything? Is this campsite?
I think this one is $25 a night. Okay. And this one includes a 30 amp plug and a water hookup. And then just down the road, there is a sewer dump. So at the end of your stay, you would just stop and dump the tanks.
Oh, wow. Okay. So does it get messy when dumping the sewage tanks?
If you've ever watched the movie RV, it can.
So in the daytime, does it cost anything to park your RV in the daytime?
Well, no, like we're parked here just boring the site. Yeah. But no, we would park during the day. We're either traveling or we're at a supercharger, really. By the time we get to a campground, it's check-in time and we check in. So usually that's around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Do you ever find it hard to get a campsite, or do you just like stop in like a Walmart and then camp there for the night?
Colette, is it hard to get campsites?
Not so far. We haven't had any trouble. But we have, well, on our way back from Ottawa, we ended up stopping in a church parking lot, and I think at a truck stop.
Yeah. And we stopped one night at a slow charger and plugged in so that we could charge the car while we slept. So a level 2 charger.
Okay, so the monthly cost for staying in a campground, I mean like the daily cost for staying in a campground is, you said, around 50 to 20 bucks. And I guess that covers your water and your like sewage. Can you dump the sewage?
Well, at $50, you're going to get all your hookups. So you can just hook your hose up from your tanks and dump right at your campsite. But say this site, for example, doesn't have a sewer hookup. It has fresh water, so it's a little bit cheaper. Usually that's the way it works. The more amenities they give you in your site, the more expensive the site's going to be.
Okay, so let's say like the site is around 50 bucks and you need to dump it every 3 days. So you'd need to do it 10 times a month. So that would be around $500 a month, I guess, if you lived in this van.
Well, no, you'd pay you just pay $50 a day for your site. So if you were going to live in a site that was like a full hookup,
they usually have a seasonal price or a monthly price, which is cheaper than paying daily.
Yeah, but if you were going to pay by the day, it would be $1,500 for the month because you'd be paid $50 every day.
Okay, so it's definitely a little bit like more expensive on like if you were to rent a apartment or a house, $1,500 like traveling on the road. So it's more like a lifestyle rather than saving money.
Exactly. But there are people that go boondock in vans and do it really cheap. But the Canadian climate is not really conducive to that in the winter. Okay. You just can't camp all year round in Canada.
Maybe in the summer then.
In the summer, for sure, travel your heart out, and you can sleep at slow chargers for free, like you're saying. You can stop. There are public sewage dumps all across Canada. Like the one that's down the road here is the City of Portage's sewer dump, and it's free to use. So it's free. You can just go dump your tanks. So if you stay in Walmart parking lots and use the water to fill up here and dump your sewer, you could just travel for free, without having to pay to be in campgrounds.
Like we have seen quite often, there's RVs in the arena parking lot here, and over by the bathrooms, by the playground, people will just stop for the night, and it's no problem.
Yeah. So lots of people do that. There's tons of videos online about that. But we use it to go to campgrounds mostly. It gets us close to beaches, so we'll go stay at the beaches in July and August when it's hot, and then as the weather cools off, we'll go to golf courses in the fall and stay close to golf courses. And we hope to be able to take it down to the States in the winter.
Yeah, that's my next question. Like, if it gets cooler here, like let's say it's minus 40 here, but in Florida it's like 20 degrees, 25 degrees, like perfect temperature. Do you go down to Florida when it's in the winter?
Oh yeah, we'll be in Florida. Yeah. We also have a DVC, so we'll probably stay at Disney resorts sometimes and then go to campgrounds other times. There's actually different trail passes in the States where you can buy a membership to campgrounds, so it actually makes it cheaper to stay there, and some of them work that you get 14 nights in a campground, then you have to leave for 5 nights, so different things like that.
So I'm guessing there is insurance for this Airstream. So what is the monthly insurance that you pay for this?
I think we pay $400 a year for trailer insurance, and this is more expensive than any trailer I've ever insured before, maybe because Airstreams are more expensive to insure, I'm not sure, but it's through Manitoba Public Insurance, like our provincial insurance carrier.
Yeah, $400 a year. That's pretty cheap compared to what you pay for a car. So like this is really nice. But it's obviously not a drivable thing. No. But it's behind the. I expected more. So $400 is really nice. Do you pay that out monthly or yearly?
We just pay it when it comes time for a renewal on all our vehicles. I just pay it.
So are these campgrounds? So has there ever been a time? Are these campgrounds like safe? Have you ever had people like come and snoop around in your trailer?
You know what? I think campgrounds by nature are really safe. We have had people, like we were just in Riverton and somebody decided at 11 o'clock at night they would coal roll us, I think, through the campground. I don't know what they were doing, but it's just kids being kids. And I think if you use your common sense, you'll be fine. I mean, there's so many apps online that can tell you whether parking lots are safe or not safe and where to park. But campgrounds, for the most part, people leave stuff out, bikes out, everything. Nobody takes things when you're at a campground.
Kind of watch over each other, I think.
Yeah, people don't really go into other people's campsites, so it's pretty safe.
So what are some of the apps that you would recommend to first-time van people who just got into the van life, and the apps that you would recommend?
Okay, so some of the ones that we use are Campendium, Road Trippers, Good Sam Club has one, and then there's All Trails is for hiking. We do use, there is one called Free Camping. It's kind of interesting.
Okay.
And then there's the Manitoba Provincial Campground site, right? And the federal site for booking, like...
Yeah, like every state, every province, and federally Canada's parks have a app that you use. Some are better than others. The federal one is good. The provincial ones are a little bit harder to use, and the state ones are all over the place.
And what we found in Canada is that you have to book them like early. Like they'll open up a certain day in the spring for booking, and then you have to try and get as many of your devices as you can to try and get a spot, because they'll give you a number, and then you have to try and, like, what is it, like, there's like a numbered system.
It's a lottery system, but the thing is that a lot of people cancel, so you can get last minute sites. It just might require moving in the middle of your stay.
But like if we looked like a month ago for anything on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they're usually all booked.
Oh wow! So there's a problem in booking these campsites. Like they're not open most of the time.
During the week, you're usually okay to get a site, but oftentimes on the weekend, most places are booked. But you can go on the internet and you just punch in there's a spot for campsite availability, and they'll tell you if there's availability at a certain campsite.
And the thing is, though, is that a lot of this is to do with COVID.
Oh, okay.
Because campgrounds never used to be as busy as this, but now they're just, everybody can only travel by trailer. So everybody bought a trailer and they've plugged the campsites up. So you just have to be a bit more creative. It just takes a little bit more work, but it's possible.
So can you plug the car in the campsite?
Yep, we charge it either just off the plug on the trailer. If the only plug-in in the campsite is a 30 amp, we'll plug the trailer into the 30 and the car into the trailer at 110. So that takes a long time to charge. Or if there's a PED that has a 30 amp plug and a 120 plug, if we don't need air conditioning, we'll just plug the trailer into the 120 and the car into the 30 amp plug with that adapter that I showed you. And then the car will charge at 3 kilowatts instead of 1. But a lot of bigger campgrounds have a PED that has a 50 amp plug, which is our NEMA 1450 that we're used to using, or a 30 or a 110. Okay. So in that case, we can plug the car into the 1450 plug and the trailer into the 30 amp and go for it. But you have to be a little careful because some of those PEDs are all fed with only one breaker for all 3 of those plugs. Okay. So you just don't want to overdo it. So you just might want to dial back the charging on the car to say, instead of 32 amps on a 1450, maybe dial it back to 24 so that you leave room for the air conditioning to run on the trailer.
Okay, so and you don't have to do it manually in the Tesla. You can set the amps of the charge, so you don't have to like create like I saw that you created your own charger for some of the campsites. Yeah. So that's
we made it. I went online and found a way to make a dongle to plug the 1450 connector into a 30 amp campground plug, because the polarities have to be reversed. So you got to go online. You can't just buy one from an RV store. The Tesla won't acknowledge it.
Yeah, so that's all the questions that I had for today. Do you guys have anything more that you want to add?
Lots of fun. Life's an adventure. I mean, it's nice to have a trailer and to get out there and see Manitoba. Even we're so shocked at our own little area that we've been traveling in, the stuff that we've discovered by camping. So yeah, it's fun.
Nice. So there you go. That's the end of this video. Again, I have their referral codes down in the description. Please give him a couple of referrals. He's very sad. He's been a Tesla owner for so long, and they're also starting up their YouTube channel as well. I mean, they're thinking of starting up their YouTube channel. I'd love to watch like more van videos. If they do, it'll be down in the description as well. I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe and hit the bell notification button. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Goodbye.